Welcome to part 4 of our roll gimbal installation videos. This is actually 2.5 months after the other 3 videos, and the reason for the extra section is this new part. It's a revised part that Multi-rotor have just sent me to use, and it replaces the adapter that goes on the front of the roll motor. That allows you to join the boom to the motor, the actual pivoting boom for the roll only gimbal. And the reason for the revised part is that using this piece, which has the mounting holes fitted internally, so it's a smaller outside diameter, means that you don't need to do as much grinding on the plates of the Reconn. So that's the part. We'll be back in a second with the Reconn airframe. We'll show you how it fits and how the previous 3 videos are now changed. Okay, so I've just pulled this entire assembly out of the airframe just to give you an idea. So here's the old coupling that you won't ship with the kits, so you don't have to worry about it. And you can see how wide it is across there, and this is much narrower. Alright, so I'm going to pull this off and come back and show you how to fit this. Okay, so I've got that all pulled apart. Now the the piece you guys won't be getting in the new kit, used to bolt on using M3s on these larger outer holes. The new piece, the mounting holes are actually internal, and you use the little M2 by 6 screws inside, and they go into those 4 holes there. So you'll probably get away with 2, but given they're just little M2s, I'll put all 4 in. So tiny dot of thread lock, Loctite, and insert the screw through the hole and then line it up and just nip that one up. I don't want to get that too tight. Alright, just leave it a little bit loose so I can then get the opposite screw in. So grab you, tiny dot of Loctite, line up that hole and slide it down. There's a groove on the inside channel, so I'm just sort of sliding down that and getting the hole to then line up and then screwing that in. Okay, welcome back. Sorry, just had a little trouble lining these things up, but now I've got them in. I'm just making sure that I'm not cross-threaded here at all. Last thing you want to do is cross-thread one of these bolts and find that you can't get it out later. So there we have it. So the 4 screws are now embedded on the inside there. Okay, probably can't see it, but there's 4 screw heads sitting inside there. So now this can go back onto here. So anyway, the tube goes into the mount, and we've got 4 little grub screws to hold the tube into the mount. Don't forget your Loctite, and don't over tighten these. And the other trick is to work in opposite pairs as you do this. Okay, so 1. Okay, that's the opposite. 2. I'm going to leave the other 2 out for now, and what I'll do is I'll actually put them in and tighten them up once this is all in the airframe, just in case I do need to do a bit of adjustment while it's in. Alright, so I'll be back in a minute with the airframe. Okay, I'm riding close on this just so you can get a really good look, particularly through the hole. Now, last time when I did the videos originally with the other mount, I had to grind out this section here and I did some cuts in the top plate, oops, right, here and here. You won't need to do those anymore, so you won't have to cut this section out of the top plate, right, and you won't have to grind forward this section on the bottom plate. You will still need to just do this little bit of grind out at the back to allow for this little section of the motor here to sit into the plate. So you do have to still do the little bit of grinding here, and on the top plate just again the same little bit of grinding just at the back there. Now be careful when you grind carbon fibre, make sure you use breathing protection and make sure you get rid of the dust in a responsible fashion, because that stuff really is nasty. Now you can see here I've got a slight problem in that that's not sitting in for me, but I'll adjust that in a second. But basically that goes back in just like we did before. 2 screws up from underneath and the airframe can go back together again, and that's it. That's the modified part. As you can see just by the way it's sitting there, it's going to come nowhere near where I had to chop out the top plate before. You do just need that scallop out of the back to allow for this little piece of the motor, but you won't have to do any grinding on the front part of the motor cutout at all. That will just sit in very nicely all by itself. So there you go. That's the update section for the roll gimbal. The kits will be shipping very shortly. Enjoy. See you guys online.